pros and cons of being in the parks in the midday. Like, what do you like in the mornings? We talked about you got to get up, make your Genie Plus.
Gotcha. Because I'm not in the parks at midday, man. I'm at the pool.
Same. I'm gonna say I'm never in the parks. It's too hot.
Yeah. Except that one time when Epcot opened at 11, and like I almost died walking in after that Olivia's breakfast.
You're forced to be there. Hey everybody, happy Monday. We're gonna do this again tomorrow too. We are getting ready to answer your listener questions, so we are going to start here in just a second. Pam is not here. Where's Pam, everybody?
I wish I was where Pam was.
I wish you were with where Pam was. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Today I had, when that thing came through with Steve, the text about that cruise ship, like YouTube video, I was like, oh my God. I was like on hold with one vendor, on hold with another vendor on Skype, and I had a third like crisis going on my laptop. I'm like, I can't take this because Pam's like, on the Wish, and I'm sitting here trying to put out 3 fires at the same time.
Right, exactly.
Oh my gosh. The Wish.
Hey, lay down.
I am laying. I'm sitting.
No, don't eat my cord. Lay down. The cat, so it's not the cat,
so we don't have to stop once we get rolling here.
How awesome is it going to be when they play the horn of like, Wish is a dream, a dream is a wish our heart makes. Like that's going to be so epic every time you're on the Wish and you hear that,
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So
I kind of heard they're going to play the Phantasmic theme at the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
Just for us.
Just for you.
I'm a thief of that song.
They could use some new horns. I feel like some new jingles.
Yeah, good. Well, the problem was when they started, like when they got all fancy and started playing like all the different tunes on all the ships, that made it like when there was one song per ship, like with the Magic. Like, okay, now everybody's got their song, but then they start having these horn battles. It's like, okay, now we're kind of
I think the added stuff too. Obviously, like, do you want to build a snowman? I know is one that they do now.
Yeah,
so it's easy to like. I don't know how easy it is, but they can do it for sure.
Yeah.
That one's kind of boring to me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I like the pirate one because they remind me of like you're in the Caribbean sometimes.
Yeah. Oh man, I didn't even talk about Pirate Night with you, man. It was just so awesome to see like fireworks at sea again, like a month ago. I didn't know they were doing Pirate Night. To be honest, that was like a pleasant surprise.
I didn't either.
It's kind of a Pirate Night light. Like it's not everything, is it?
Yeah, but they still did like the show. Like I can't stand that show, man.
The Pirate Night show, it's okay. I like the fireworks.
Is it the one with that like skeleton guy, like the Jolly Roger?
Yeah,
I know that is kind of dorky.
Dude, people get like psyched for that though.
I know. I like the actual fireworks. I just don't like that part of the show. Yeah.
But like the dance party fun afterwards is fun too, man. Like everyone's going at it.
But then do they still have, they don't have the buffet afterwards anymore, do they?
I didn't see it, but Emily said that she heard that people were going to Cabanas afterwards, which like made me so mad. I would have totally done that.
The buffet lasts about 15 minutes, dude.
It does. It totally lasts like 15 minutes. They're like, okay, go. And they're literally pulling down the thing as you're like trying to swipe them.
I remember one cruise, Mike, me and Mike's hand almost got chopped off. Like,
I was like, I'm going to lose
that taco shell real quick.
Taco. Exactly. I'm like, I'm going to lose my hand, but I'm getting that taco.
I'm getting the taco.
Never eaten. That was so funny. Yeah, they were pulling down that curtain.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude,
they do. And it's like, oh my gosh,
45 minutes. What?
No, it hasn't. It was like Scott's right. It's like 15 minutes.
So
like there's no way it's 45. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
I think it's like 20 minutes. And and it depends on where you're at. Like where I was, like to watch, the show. Like I couldn't get there because it's such a huge bottleneck. I couldn't get there. So that's probably why I didn't see it.
And the other part is they don't advertise it either. So you have to know that it's happening. So, which is also stupid.
You know what? Next time I might just like sacrifice the fireworks and I'm just gonna like sit in Cabanas during the show and just like be first one there.
I bet they serve. You know what? I bet they serve it early, and so I bet that's the case. And then that's why they close 15 minutes after the show.
Yeah, that's probably right.
You gotta talk to your serving team, so they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna come get you. I'll be up in deck 12. Come get when it goes live."
Like, what time does Cabanas open for the for the Pirate Night?
I could tell you, but I'd have to throw you overboard. Okay, here we go. Let's see. We are 20. Wait, what number are we?
Your scroll says 2111, but
I think, yeah, is that right though? Yeah, it is. I think.
Hey, don't eat my cords.
We good?
Yeah.
All right. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2111 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week. And as always, thank you so much for downloading the show and being a part of the Be Our Guest Podcast family. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for your listener questions. And we have the dream team assembled today. And now Pam's not here. Now, we don't feel...
I was going to say, wow.
That's part of the dream team. I mean, all four of us are part of this dream team, but here's the deal. Like, we don't feel sorry for Pam today. We love Pam Forrester. No. She is a crucial member, founding member of this show, but she is on the Disney Wish today. So too bad. You know, I'm eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and she's on the Disney Wish. Be gone with you.
Yeah.
I don't know what movie that's from. It's from some movie I just saw. I can't remember, but she's having a good time. So follow the Magic for Less Travel on socials. She promised that she's going to burn all the free internet they give her on this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Review cruise that goes in like 15 minutes. Cause I did one last August. And I mean, like I checked an email, my big internet package was gone. It was ridiculous, but she'll post it. She'll pay for it. And I mean, we're going to have so much to talk about when she gets back about this wonderful new ship that many of us are going to get to sail. And just think about this, the Be Our Guest podcast cruise, only 1 year away at this point. We are getting there. It was quite a while. That's only a year. I know it sounds a long time. We'll be here before you know it. So we're getting there, but Pam is just going to give us all the goods here very soon with the Wish. But until then, let's answer those questions. Joining us today from the mouseforless.com, we have Ricky. Ricky, what's going on?
You know, I am going to try not to be jealous of Pam Forrester. I'm going to try. It's very, very, very difficult when, you know, you are not on the Disney Wish. However, you know, I do have a few weeks to go. So my countdown at this point is 53 days. So we're getting there. That's as of Wednesday. So yeah, we're getting there. But yeah, I know that's what I'm saying, you know, so.
That's right. Hey, I got to ask something off topic. I was going to ask you this too, right off the bat, because this is topical for your part of the world, right? So you're a baseball fan, you're a Cardinals fan. Cardinals doing pretty well this year. I just found out real quick. That on my daughter's cheerleading squad, not her high school squad, but her all-star squad, like her one that travels around, you know, we do all the stuff and we go to Disney and stuff at the end of the year. So she just got a new girl on her squad 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And they had Wear Blue Day at their gym last week. And some of the girls were like, didn't have, I don't know, how do you not have blue stuff? They're in high school at this point. She's on a senior team. But so one of the girls like, if anybody needs blue stuff, I have some blue stuff shirts I can bring in. Come to find out, her brother is a pitcher in the major leagues. Okay. On her squad. Now listen to this though. Her brother is a relief pitcher on a team that could keep the Cardinals out of the National League. Her brother is Devin Williams, who is one of the best relievers in baseball for the Brewers. He's like the setup guy for Hader. He went to high school with Paige. We didn't know this, like, because they said Brew Crew on it. I'm like, dude, it's Devin Williams. I'm like, you don't know who that is? Nobody knew who he was. I'm like, he's like one of the best pitchers in baseball. I'm like, he's got anyway. So we found that out. But I was going to ask you about Freddie Freeman. If you ever leave our podcast and go to another podcast because we pay you more, I want to see you crying like a baby every time you go live. I'm just thinking, like, because you love the Be Our Guest podcast so much that you just sob into a towel every time.
I mean, I would sob into a towel, but you know, I mean, given the fact that I get paid zero for this podcast, you know, if somebody wants to make me an offer, I am entertaining. No.
I'm just saying, Freddie Freeman, boy, he was. I love the guy, and I'll get to see him out at the Dodgers game. I hope he doesn't sit out that day. But man, he was. I kind of felt bad for the Dodgers players. Like, dude,
I know.
Go back.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, he was definitely upset, and rightfully so. This is his home. But yeah. If I lost my home of you guys, I would definitely be bawling like a baby for sure. So 100%. But just saying, 0 is
We'll see.
I'm expecting
nobody gets rich off podcasting. I'll tell you that. It usually costs you a lot of time and a lot of money. All right. Also joining us, we're heading up to the mitten. Your friend of mine, hashtag Scotty G. Scott, what did you think about good old Freddie, man? He was choked up. He just couldn't get enough of it. I mean, I've seen players go back and, get a little choked up at the first at bat, but man, I didn't know it was going to happen. I thought he was going to renounce his Dodgers gear and just like put on a Braves jersey again. I don't know. It's crazy.
Who knows? But I will say, like, I don't even have a blog. I don't have a travel agency connection. So why am I even on this podcast? Is what I'm starting to wonder.
Everybody loves hashtag
because I mean, if someone pays me a grape, I'm making more than I did on this. So, but I thought, Mike, I really thought you were going to say, I'm sorry about your story about the Brewers here. I thought you were going to say someone brought in a whole bunch of Cardinal blue shirts because those are some of my.
Those are my favorites.
I don't like the Cardinals at all. I think you know that. Just we got like a issue with them with the Tigers a little bit.
A long time ago.
I know. I hold on to grudges. But I will admit, like the Cardinal blue jersey is kind of sweet. I might have to actually pick up a Ozzie Smith Cardinal blue jersey someday because those are pretty sweet.
Yes. Kind of the color of my shirt I'm wearing today. Finally found me down at Walt Disney World, kind of the baby blues that we wear on Saturdays on the road, the 80s road jersey. Anyway, no more baseball talk. Let's get to the questions. Paul has a question right off the bat. He says, here is the question. And I know Scott has some thoughts on this. I saw you posted actually about this somewhere. He says, the live Harmonious event was awesome. How does one find out about events like this? Is it luck of the draw? Paul, he's in LSL, Missouri. Let me give Ricky let's see. Ricky, where do you think LSL is? I can figure it out. I had to think about it first.
Oh, I got it. Lake St. Louis.
It's Lake St.
Louis. Yeah. I was like, okay, let's figure this out.
I was going to say Lower St. Louis. I don't know if that's like an Upper New York, like Lower St. Louis.
There's East St. Louis. There's other places, but it's Lake St. Louis. It's
you don't want to.
Miles Davis is from East St. Louis.
He is. I think there's a lot of Jackie Joyner Kersey, who I got to meet at a marathon event. She is awesome. Yeah. She's from East St. Louis. Okay. Anyway, so you watched the Harmonious thing, Scott, and I saw you posted. You thought it was awesome, but I mean, how do you find out about this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is luck of the draw. So I will say Disney kind of promoted it a little bit, like a week or maybe like 10 days before the event, saying, hey, mark your calendars. We're going to do this special event, live Harmonious on Disney Plus. So that's really the only way, like, if you can swing it, right? If you're a local, maybe you could drive. If you're like in Ricky's territory, maybe you can do an overnight drive and get there. But you really can't plan for that too much because it was kind of a late notice. But I will say, Mike, I encourage you to watch it. You've said so many times on the podcast, you and I have a hot debate about Harmonious. But my gosh, man, it was so awesome. Like, because
it was great.
I'm all about like live musicians. Like, I love I love the arts. I love all the talented musicians, and it was so great to just see them out there performing and singing the songs. The dig a little deeper scene, was like, oh my god, like, I was getting chills. I
love that song. I love Princess and the Frog, and I'm telling you, I will die on this hill. The music from that film is so fantastic. Like, if you don't have, I have it on like repeat all the time because I really love the music from Princess and the Frog. So, I agree with you. It was great. Yeah. It was a great spectacular.
I would love to know from someone that was there though, because like watching it, right? Like they can, Mike, this, like they can make the production sound really good coming through like your TV speakers, whatever. I wonder what it was like in World Showcase though. Like, could you hear it all? Like.
A friend, Kim Taylor from the podcast, she actually was there. She was working. So I didn't ask her like how she could hear it, but she did say that she was there and got to experience a little bit of it.
I'm just curious how the audio went. Because could you imagine like if that was your first time? Like,
yeah, right.
Like, hey, let's Epcot. They're going to do this cool fireworks show and fountain show. And then all of a sudden there's like live musicians. Like, whoa, they do this every night.
They do this every night. Amazing.
This place knows how to do fireworks,
Yeah.
Bring out the light. No, I'm with you because that's why I like Candlelight Processional. It's because of the whole thing. It comes to life. There's the singers and the musicians, and I totally agree with you. I mean, I like the Illuminations. That's kind of my thing.
I love Illuminations too. Like I like them both. But I tell you, one of my favorite things we ever did, Mike, was that one summer where I think it was like the Grand Floridian Orchestra, RIP, man. I love them. I miss them so much. Remember when they did like the Pixar thing and the Beauty and the Beast Theater? That was one of the coolest things ever. So cool. I just love live music. So
cool.
Yeah,
so
me
cool.
too. And I mean, I think most people do, but I guess obviously it's really probably very expensive to get musicians of that caliber together for something like this. And you're right. That's a good question about what it was like being there around the lagoon, because a lot of times I would guess they would have to kind of sacrifice the live quality to get the sound to the, they're miking it up and getting it into the mixing boards. The mix is good for the.
Exactly. That's what I think they focused on more. So I'm curious if you were like in Italy, like how did it sound? Like, cause they were more like at like the World Showplace entrance, or you know what I mean? Like
that's a good question. So if anybody was there, and I'm sure we had a lot of listeners that were probably there at some point. Listen.
But what kind of blew my mind too is like, I think some of the people that performed were like some of the people on the soundtrack. Cause like they sounded so, I mean, it was just like perfect to like how the audio is. So like, I don't know, unless if you could just train yourself to sound like someone else, I mean, that'd be pretty challenging, but I think they had a lot of the same like vocals, maybe not the string, instruments could have been the same, but I think a lot of the vocalists were the same on the recording. It was a pretty cool event.
I think you're right. And I think they talked about that too. Not sure. The first part like cut out on my, when I was watching it. So like I had to like restart Disney Plus at that point. I was like, no, but so I missed like a brief chunk, but I thought they mentioned something about it. So
but in short, it's just luck of the draw. Like, I mean, they gave a little bit of a warning, but I mean, gosh, I wish I would have loved to have been there for that event, but kudos to those that were there. That's awesome that they got to have that part of their vacation.
Dig a Little Deeper has a tambourine, right? In that song, right? I should jump in and I could play the tambourine.
Yeah, I mean, I could throw a tambourine on anything, Mike. Yeah, we'll just be in the back of the percussion, like
I can be back there, like because I've seen it on a cruise line.
Actually, so with Dig a Little Deeper though, like it's like more like a church song, kind of like a gospel. Like so, they actually had they had a guy playing the drum set on that one.
Nice,
like, just going to town. It
was
awesome.
Gospel choir. Give me a gospel choir. I love that kind of music.
Yeah,
oh my
gosh,
it was so good, so good. Okay. Next question is from Robert Tucker. Been listening to the show for quite a long time and glad to see him in here with the chat. He says, hey guys, getting ready to make my 20th trip to Disney World. Traveling with me is my wife and my 4-year-old daughter. First trip since COVID and no Magical Express. What transportation should we take from the airport to Pop? I'm willing to pay extra to have a private shuttle, No Mirrors Connect or Sunshine Flyer. Love the podcast and thanks for all you do. Thanks, Robert. Okay, so personally, I've been taking Ubers and Lyfts, and that's, but again, if you don't want to do that, the two companies that I've been recommending over at the Magic for Less, because we've been getting good reviews all around it. And I've been asking guests when they get back, and I have not heard a bad word on either one of these companies since we've gotten back. And I've asked about a few things. I've asked about price. I've asked about the friendliness of the drivers, and I've asked about selection of the vehicles, as well as the shape that the vehicles are in. I don't want you to get like a cash for clunkers kind of thing to get you, across Orlando. And all these things have been fine for all my guests. And the two companies I'm recommending is Happy Limo and Tiffany Town Car. So if you just kind of Google those, happylimo.com and tiffanytowncar.com, just type those in. And the thing is, like, they have so many different vehicles and ways to customize like what you want. Do you need this? Do you need that? You can really customize it and get what you're looking for. So those are the two companies right now I'm happy, kind of going with. So if you're looking for that, I think you can. And that, some people, I don't know, Ricky, you always drive, Ricky, so you don't have to worry about this. You have a car, but Scott, we get there, we land, and we want to get there, so I'm fine with a lot of times when it's going on for races and it's just me. So I'll just, roll up one person, a couple bags and throw it in the back of a Toyota Tercel or something and get over there. But I mean, I understand if you're with a family, you'd like to have something scheduled. You like to know somebody's waiting for you because you're comfortable with how Magical Express works. So I think Robert's being proactive here rather than kind of seat of their pants like I tend to be.
Yeah, I like the options you gave there, Mike, and it's kind of fun. You get out there, like someone's got your name on an iPad.
Yes,
hey, that's so me. Cool. That's me.
Oh yeah. And by the way, pro tip: take a selfie with your driver, with your iPad, with your name on it, and post it baller move. I'm just saying.
That's true. I did not do that.
I did that before. It was actually Beth that picked us up that had a sign, but which is pretty awesome. I did that at Disneyland once. I didn't even tell the girls, you know, like I was like, we'll figure out the car when we get there. And there was like this long haired dude. Like I almost never mind.
No.
Because he had a sign that said Scott Gardner. And Emily's like, Dad, is that for you? I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Let me do a credit check on this guy real quick. No, he was super friendly. He was super cool. But like, there's something magical, I would say, about that. We lost the Magical Express, but there's something cool. You come down that escalator and there's a person down there with your name on an iPad who's ready to take you to, you know, your happy place. So that's kind of fun. I would also just, maybe you're not comfortable driving, but just take a look at the car rates. You know, I know the car rates could be through the roof, but that's also a good alternative.
And difficult to find too. So you'll want to make sure you do it ahead of time if you are considering that option. Yeah.
They're loosening up though. I mean, I got a good deal on a car in California. You know.
Yeah, no, I don't mean the rates. I just mean it still can be the quantity. It still can be a little difficult to find cars.
And there's resort parking too, so that's something that you got to consider as well for additional costs. So I'd say, you know, just go big. Just do the car like you're already thinking, and go with one of those recommendations Mike provided.
All right, here's a question that came in just an hour ago in my email. And I said, you know what? I'm going to put this out there on the podcast rather than answer it just because he's asking me. But he says, Mike, with the ADR date coming up here at the end of August on my solo trip, any dining recommendations for a solo traveler? I was planning mostly quick service, but curious if you found some ADRs that you like when traveling solo. So this is for Matt. And I asked him, you know, can we put this on a show? And he said, sure. And I thought I'd bounce this off you guys because we've all been there, you know, for race weekends or events or by ourselves, you know, where, you know, a lot of folks have never probably dined, you know, alone. Scott, you're with your family mostly, but
yeah, I've never dined alone. So I'm trying to think like, what would I do? I kind of like this question. Like, what would I do if I was by myself?
And I do mostly counter service when I'm by myself, just because it's a little bit cheaper and it's quicker and you don't have to make plans. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think where I've done Grand Floridian Cafe by myself. Because I've stayed it's usually at the hotel that I'm staying at, you know, just book an ADR there. Ricky, what about you? What place have you dined?
So I'm going to be perfectly honest. I am absolutely 100% perfectly comfortable with dining alone. It doesn't matter where it is. It can be, you know, here in Atlanta, it can be at Disney World, it can be wherever. And I can dine alone at a table service spot. So what I do is I don't even look at places that are like, you know, dine alone places, you know what I'm saying? Like I just literally look at my Disney experience and go, where is it that I want to eat today?
I've done that. Yeah.
And that's kind of what I do. Like whether you want to do that ahead of time or what, I mean, I do it on the fly, to be perfectly honest. I look at what's available and I just go, okay, what sounds good? And you know, if there's something that sounds good in the list and it's available, you know, the night before or the day of or whatever, I'll book it. If not, then I'll tend to go to counter service. But yeah, I legit just book whatever I'm feeling because I have zero problem dining by myself. So that's what phones are for. You know, back in the day when, you know, there were no phones, that's what books were for. Like, that's what I just did. I'm perfectly fine doing all that by myself. So
what I would like to do though, Mike, is just thinking about this question, like what would I do if I'm down there? So I would think I would like to go to a place that has like a bar area, you know, like, cause then you can like talk to another person next to you, talk to the server, the bartender. So my perfect spot would be, I would book a boathouse and they have the indoor dining and they have the outdoor dining. I would go outdoor, get the filet sliders or do the Gibson burger, eat those rolls, enjoy the water. That would be my ideal spot as a solo diner.
Two places I can recommend that I've had really good experiences down. Actually, three. Olivia's, I went once by myself and I loved it. Everybody's super friendly. It just seems like everybody's like super friendly there for some reason. I don't know why. And I just love that restaurant. But the other two places I think work out great for solos. Beaches and Cream, because it's just, I mean, it's like, it's like loud, it's crazy in there. People ordering kitchen sinks, lights going out, woo, you know. And
they still have the bar that you can sit there too, right?
But it's only like, so if you join the walk-up list, you'll likely get put at the bar. But if you have an ADR, even if you're a solo, you'll likely get put at a table. Sometimes they mix it up, but that tends to be how it is. So I've gone to Beaches and Cream a couple of times. I was at Yacht Club in May, and I ate there twice. God, I love that place. And solo, and there's a lot to see. Like you get to, you know, watch people eating their kitchen sinks. You know, I just eat and just take it all in. And the other place, and again, it's kind of like with Scott, and it's a weird place to go solo if you think about it. It's Beer Garden. I went there because I just love Beer Garden, and I was there on a solo trip.
You go there a lot by yourself.
It's weird, but I ended up sitting with a table, and these listeners of the show, they listened to the show. Like, it was crazy. What are the chances? But I mean, you get to talk to people, and when you're solo, it's kind of fun to get to actually talk to somebody other than Twitter. You know, it was a good deal. I got to have my food I liked, and we got to talk and learn a little bit about each other. And hey ho, what was it? What's the thing they say? Hey ho. No, that's Naughty by Nature. What is
Ziggy Saki, like that?
Oh, or? Boy. Yeah, that's it. I was gonna go, hey ho. Anyway. All right. So there you go, Matthew. There's some terrible recommendations from Mike.
I think they're all good. And I honestly, Mike, I was gonna say Olivia's for mine too. Because there is something just homey about being there. I just love it. Sit outside at Olivia's by yourself and like see the people walking by.
Yes. Okay, we've got another question. David in the live chat says, in honor of marathon weekend training starting this week. What? Okay. I'm just going to ignore that since I'll be at Disneyland. Let's see. I'm thinking about park reservations for marathon weekend 23. I'll be in the parks with my wife and 3-year-old Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only running the marathon on Sunday. That still, you're only running 26 miles, you slacker. What would you recommend for park reservations? Okay, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you want to obviously keep it low keep the steps low on Friday and Saturday. Scott, how would you lay this out? If you're trying to keep because he's a family guy, like Hall & Oates.
Yes,
he's a family man, but he's also trying to keep his legs fresh for Sunday because he still has to do the 26 too.
Man, that's so tough. And I do go to the parks over marathon weekend, as silly as that sounds. I very rarely stay off my feet, but I don't do much attractions, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I would I'm thinking the studios, Mike, for Saturday.
It's the smallest. It's got the smallest footprint.
It's the smallest. Yep. And then there's some good seating, just find a bench on Sunset, just relax, take in the weather, like, yeah, you could just have a chill day there. And there's some family stuff to do there too. You could do Mickey and Minnie's, like Toy Story Mania, things like that. So you can still have a fun day with the family and relax a little bit. I like that idea.
The thing you got to watch is you don't want to have Genie Plus. Like, you don't want to be running from attraction to attraction. This is the day where you do things like, if you're at the Magic Kingdom, I mean, you can go to the Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom isn't that big either. And, you could do Carousel of Progress and then easily stroll over to the People Mover and sit down on that. Because think about it, on Carousel of Progress, you're sitting for 20 minutes. You go on the People Mover, you're sitting for 10. And then you go on maybe Buzz Lightyear, but you stay like in that land and you try to hit those things. One of the things that gets me more than all the walking is standing. Like, you just don't want to get in a line that's 90 minutes. You're in bad shape if you have to stand in line for 90 minutes because you just don't get off your feet.
Yeah, because you're going to do that the next morning in the corral. So
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't know, Ricky, any thoughts on that? Because you got to think really about, you just want to avoid lines. Even it doesn't really matter what park you go to. You don't want to do a lot of, you don't want to do 20, 30,000 steps, but if you just go into the park and just sit around and snack and just do a show here and there and just get out easy peasy, I mean, that you can really do any park as long as you're not crazy.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I mean, I really wouldn't do Animal Kingdom probably just because there is.
I mean,
it's
you
so
do a lot
big.
of steps in that park without even thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was also pretty easy to do a lot of steps around Epcot. Especially if you travel around World Showcase, if you want to just hang out, and I almost said Future World, but the 3 at the beginning, then I'm never gonna have
World
that right.
Discovery, the Discoveries,
yeah, exactly. World Discovery, World Nature, and World. Oh, what's the other one? Now I forget it. Anyway, it's gonna be Future World to me for me forever.
Seriously, I agree. Future World.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you want to hang out in that section, then that's good. But yeah, I mean, I think that Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios were the two that I really was considering. And I would probably do Hollywood Studios on Saturday because, like you said, it is smaller. And then Magic Kingdom on Friday. That's exactly where I was thinking.
And then what I like for Sunday, Mike, like I love going back to Epcot after I finish the pool. And it depends on what his family wants to do for cheering. I think it's a great place to cheer too. So if you get them a park pass, depending on, I don't know what his pace is. I'm sure he's faster than me, but they might be able to catch you at the tail end of the full marathon, depending on how you time it. Plus, if he's super fast too, he can always go back in and watch people finish. That's always fun to do too. Do some cheering. I mean, you're kind of not troll, but you're just kind of, you got this vibe when you're watching people and you got your marathon medal on and you're like cheering them on. You just feel like a baller a little bit. But I very rarely have that feeling. But that's always a fun thing to do too. And it's just a marathon. I always think of just Epcot. I mean, I know we go through all 4 parks, we're all over the place, but like you start at Epcot, you finish at Epcot. So I always like to go back in and get my Spaceship Earth medal like immediately after, all sweaty and gross.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. You got your picture there. But I mean, that's a good time to have a park hopper too, because then you can hop over to the Magic Kingdom after 2 and get your, then you could get some, get a Liberty Tree Tavern ADR that night and get your pictures.
It's like the ultimate park hopping day. You go through all 4 parks, then you park back to Epcot, and then you park hop again to Magic Kingdom, like just a park hopping fool.
Yeah, then you look down at your watch like, oh yeah, 50,000 steps, baby.
Seriously.
Crazy. All right, Angie's got a question. I'm thinking about doing a split stay during my next trip. I sent to do moderate during the majority of our stay and trying to decide on a deluxe to splurge for the last few days. Which one would you pick? Animal Kingdom Lodge Savannah View or the Polynesian theme park view? Ooh. So he's going to split and he's going to wrap it up with a deluxe, either Animal Kingdom Lodge Savannah or Polynesian theme park view. Ricky.
Ooh. Yeah, this is tough, right? I mean, I think my heart initially says Polynesian. I mean, I can't get away with that. I've stayed at both, and I think both are fantastic. But gosh, there's something about the Polynesian. I can't. It's just got my heart. So, I mean, plus you're so close to the Magic Kingdom at that point. So Polynesian it is.
Even without the Spirit of Aloha dinner theater being there anymore.
Yeah, I know, Mike. I never got to see Spirit of Aloha, so I don't think I'm missing out. I mean, I might
that
be.
Show. I saw it 3 times. I love that show.
Well, now it'll live in your memories.
It will. And the ribs. Oh, those ribs were so good. Okay, Scott, which one did you pick?
Mike, I love Animal Kingdom Lodge and that Savannah view, but not as much as I love the Polynesian with the theme park view. That'd be awesome. I guess it just kind of depends on what your goal is for the day. Like, I mean, maybe I missed that in the question, but if it's just going to be like a chill, I'm going to be at the resort all day, then maybe I do lean towards Animal Kingdom Lodge. Like you'll be able to take more time watching the animals, but you can kind of go over to the lodge as a dinner guest, and kind of still get that feel. You can go onto the public looking views. So I rather go with the theme park view at the Polynesian. Maybe just plan on watching the fireworks from your room too. I think that'd be a cool way to end the day.
Yeah, I'm going to go Polynesian just for the fact that it's kind of the ultimate Disney resort. Animal Kingdom Lodge with Savannah, though, it's amazing. Like, you can't go wrong with either one of these. But the recommendation that Scott kind of said without saying is I would stack your theme park time while you're at the first half of the split stay. When you're at the moderate, that's when you go to the theme parks. When you're staying at a deluxe resort, you have to make sure you're going to be spending time at the resort because you have amazing pools, you got great dining, you have great recreation, and you have amazing things just to see and relax. Just great ways to go out on a swing on the beach, the Poly, or, if you have a Savannah view at Animal Kingdom Lodge and you never sit on your balcony, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So many people I worry book a Savannah view room, but they spend 5 minutes looking out on the Savannah in the morning as they get ready to go to the parks. And that's the only time they spend out there. You could have done that looking out a window, at one of the ends of the halls. I'm just one of those people, like if you book a deluxe, enjoy it because it's such a unique thing at these resorts. That's what I always say. So hopefully
clean sweep.
Yeah. Except we did, Kathy in the live chat said Polynesian all the way. And then Peg said Animal Kingdom Lodge all the way. So we got a 50-50 in the chat. So I like that. All right. Jacob's got a question here in the inbox. Hey, Mike, Pam, Ricky, and Scott. And Scott is actually on the email. I like that. He knew. I recently listened to the Disney on a Dime episode, and it got me debating on whether or not to get a Disney Visa or not. I was wondering if Disney ever offers room discounts to Visa cardholders. And if so, is there a specific date range each year that they offer it? Thank you all for providing some of the best Disney content, and have a great trip to Disneyland, Mike. Thanks. Jacob's out in North Carolina. All right, so Scott, you're a Disney. We're all 3 Disney Visa card holders up.
Yep.
And do we all 3 have the Premier, whatever it's called, the Plus?
But yeah,
I do not, but I still own the Disney Visa. But yeah,
it's all.
But I don't. Yeah,
it's just accelerated points if you pay like.
Yeah, I use like my Delta. I try to get more like on the miles side, but yeah, they have done this before, Mike. I know, I've seen it. And it's sporadic though, like it's like kind of random. So it's not like, I know the question is like, what time of year do they do this? Like it's so random. Like I remember I did it once. Like it was the year we did the you and Ricky did the live show at the Give Kids the World Village for the lights. They had one of those Disney Visa promotions going, and that's how I stayed at the Riviera, because it was a deep discount. It was awesome. But it's just kind of random. Wouldn't you say, Mike?
Well, it is. And the thing is, a lot of times the Disney Visa offers will be out at the same time as another offer. Like, so for example, a lot of times like this Disney Visa offer will come out the same time as like this Disney Plus subscriber offer came out. So it'd be like, most people have, because I don't know, maybe it's because my clientele that I have at the Magic for Less, we're big Disney fans. So it's amazing. Like, because I don't know what the other agents see, because I know a lot of our other agents book like people at their church and people in their, communities and stuff like that, kind of regular people, because most of my clients come from this show. You tend to be big Disney fans. And so most of my guests are Disney Plus subscribers. I don't even usually have to ask. I mean, it's like, it's a given almost. And almost every one of my guests, their first 4 digits of their card is 4266.
4266.
Not trying to freak you out, but I can tell you the first 8.
Then they're 9020 after that.
I'm not trying to do mind tricks on you. I can tell you the second, the last one.
The last ones. No.
We got the
first 4.
People out if I tell you the last 8 in your expiration date right now. No, but here's the thing. Like, it's one of those things, like they put those out and they're not real aggressive offers. What they are is they're trying to entice you to just look at something. But a lot of times the Disney Visa offers will run parallel with some kind of a more, what they call broad offer that more people are going to be likely to have, like that Disney Plus subscriber offer. So it's usually the same rate. So, that way people can either have either or. But I would say if you're going to travel to Disney, there are, I've had it since day one. My thing says card holder since day one. And it's just because, you like Scott, I mean, it's good to have a rewards card. It never costs anything extra. And if you pay it off every month, why not get a few bonus points here and there and put it towards some souvenirs or, an annual pass or what have you. That's what I'm doing.
There's some benefits. Like if you do a package, right, you can do like a 0% or something, right? Yeah.
Yep. 6 months, 0%. Nice. But it's gotta be a package. Like it's not room only. And you can do that for cruises, so that really helps with cruises. That's what
I just did that with you when I booked that like weekend May trip.
But you got to be careful with that, because you got to look at you got to look at your bill, because you think, oh, well, I'm paying this, but no, you got to pay it exactly right, or else
you got to do the math right.
Yeah. It's because I got burned by that one time. I wasn't smart enough, because I just kind of thought I knew how to do that and I didn't. So, all right, next question is from Samantha. She says, running the 5K and the marathon in January, what are some good places to eat semi-healthy? Oh, we're out of here. Throughout the weekend leading up to the marathon. I don't want to bog myself down eating park food for 5 days beforehand. Well, I don't know.
I think you're in trouble.
I mean, so I will say that there's some places we go to, Mike, that could still work. Like,
you
can go to Olivia's and get the Mallory Cobb salad or whatever, or the Mallory salad, whatever it is, Or I think Ale and Compass has like some nice like chicken dishes, that could be good. That's not more on the lighter side.
Mm-hmm.
Most places will have healthier options.
Yes.
I'm not saying you got to eat salad all the time, but they will have, like a grilled chicken option.
It's not always a fried chicken. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, because my wife actually does like to get a grilled chicken. Even when we go to like Texas Roadhouse, she has this grilled chicken thing she loves. It's got some kind of like topping on it. She's just like in love with, and I'm glad, because I like Texas Roadhouse and I get to go more. But yeah, no. So it's I don't think you have to necessarily. I think you gotta stay away from obviously the quick service places like a Casey's and a Columbia Harbor House and a Cosmic Rays. That kind of stuff's going to tend to be. I mean, there are, there's
they definitely have some healthier options.
It's usually a salad,
at all those
maybe
places.
A salad or a wrap.
Yeah. I mean, they do tend, and they'll have like like a veggie dog or something at Casey's, I think, or something.
Or just some substitutes. So I think about the ABC commissary. Mike, we both love that like buffalo chicken sandwich. You don't have to get the steak.
I've been craving that thing all week.
Yeah. But you don't have to do the steak fries with it, right? Maybe like get like a side of broccoli or something instead. Sometimes a vegetable to go with the sandwich is really good. So you're like meeting somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Mike's like, what? Did Scotty G just say no to steak fries? I didn't say for me. I meant for the person, Samantha.
Okay, for Samantha. I'm just saying you just messed up the perfect meal. That grilled cheese, buffalo chicken grilled cheese with those steak fries. And let me tell you, the fake palm trees inside of the ABC commissary which may be one of the most underrated and perfect background loops.
Yeah.
Inside that place is the perfect combo.
And you can go and get refills too.
Yes, yeah, they have Coke Zero. Yes. Oh, get me to who'd have thought? Like, I'm in love with ABC commissary. It's crazy. I need a shirt. ABC commissary. Okay. Next question is from Ian. She's from the Plan Disney Parks panel. Love her. And I got to share a flight with her coming back from Florida about a year ago. Hey, Mike and the BOGP.
I met her at Princess Weekend too. She very nice. Yeah.
Yes. She's really cool. High energy. She says, I need help with Genie Plus ASAP. So this came in just one day ago. So this is ASAP as this gets. Here we go. Heading to the world for my 50th birthday soon and staying at the Grand Floridian Villas.
Nice.
Happy birthday. And yes, you're doing it correctly. Here's my question. We are a party of 5 and my 20-year-old son has never seen Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We'll arrive mid-morning on July 5th, but don't plan to get to Hollywood Studios until mid-afternoon, probably 3 o'clock. We have an Oga's reservation at 4:15. Since he has never ridden Rise, I figured we should get the individual lightning lane. However, I'm torn about Genie Plus. My youngest son loves Slinky Dog and he's hoping to get on. I heard a guest on one of your trip reports talking about stacking Genie Plus lightning lane return times. What is the best strategy to do this? And do you think buying it is worth it? The park closes at 9 p.m. that night. I would love your input. Your Plan Disney and Plane Buddy, Ian. I love it. Yes. She's out Pittsburgh way, I think. Okay, so thoughts, Ricky, what would you do? I'll give this one to you.
I mean, I would definitely buy the individual lightning lane to make sure that you are getting on, Rise. I think that would be a must do for me. As far as Genie Plus, I don't know. I feel like as the day goes by at Hollywood Studios, the lines for, even the headliners gets much less. So I might not do Genie Plus, and I would maybe get in line for Slinky like last thing. So I might save the money on that. I would, though, buy it for the individual lightning lane for Rise. But yeah, I don't think I'd do Genie Plus. I think I'd go for it.
Yeah, I'm kind of right with you on that. If she's thinking about not buying it, you could definitely stand by Slinky.
Especially at the end of the night. I mean, it'll tell you obviously that there's a really long wait, but it won't be terrible. Yeah.
Even after Oga's, it might even calm down, around 6.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows? But yeah, I mean, I think this is the example of what individual lightning lanes are made for. Really, yeah. I mean, because you have your son who's never done this, you want to lock it in to guarantee that your son is going to get this experience. Because I'm against I'm kind of in principle against the individual lightning lanes, but right here is where I think this is the beauty of it. Like, you can guarantee this experience. Scott, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with both of you. Do the individual for sure. And then I know the question kind of about stacking, and I think I haven't really used Genie Plus too much. I'm going to be using it though really soon out at Disneyland, which I think is a whole different experience based on what Ricky was talking about a few weeks ago. But I think the only way to really stack it is like you got to get times early in the day. So if you're going for like a Slinky Dog, the first available might not be till, I don't know, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it might be a little bit more challenging to try to stack those because you can only book one every, couple of hours. So I would stay away from that. I like what Mike and Ricky said about like later in the night. Like, yeah, like the park does kind of empty out, and you can, if you're in the back of the park by Toy Story and Galaxy's Edge, you can usually get into some of those attractions later. So go for the individual and then do standby for the rest.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for today's show. Thank you so much for all the great questions. We always appreciate those. And if you have a question, send those to Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. We'll get those in the queue right here, or join us most Mondays. Now, not next Monday because it's 4th of July and we are out at Disneyland. But in 2 weeks, join us at about 5:45 Eastern on Facebook and YouTube as we record live. And you can jump right to the top of the queue there. You just put it right there in the post and we answer it immediately. So we are going to be back again tomorrow. We got the replay from Sunday night's live show, you, me, and Scotty G. That was a fun one. And then on Friday, we're going over our last minute. We're going day by day of what Scott and I are going to do at Disneyland. Ricky's going to chime in because she's been there, talk about her experiences, some advice she's going to give us. And we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing because Scott gets on the plane on Friday. Scott pulled a Scott. He moved his flight up a day. Like he was going to leave Friday night, like way late. And he's like, dude, I just moved my flight the first thing in the morning. I'm like, what? Didn't you have to work? No. Anyway, so he works some magic at work. So he's beating me out to California now. I'm going Saturday morning, but this will be the show where we tell you what our plans are. And then we'll be out there. Also follow us on the social media, hashtag BOGP at DL. So the AT, because there's no at signs and hashtags, BOGP ATDL for all the pictures and updates from that. Okay, don't forget today's show always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for your Disney trip planning needs over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click really does help us out. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And finally, thank you to the patrons of the Be Our Guest Podcast. You allow us to have all this fun and make this great community that we have and talk Disney each and every week. If you'd like to join us, come on over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give Ricky a follow on social media. She's at Ricky Nibs, counting down to her Disney Wish cruise. Scott is at Scott. He's going to be on a Delta Airlines plane headed to San Diego, here very soon. That'll be on Friday and all the adventures there. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. You know me, I can't take 10 steps without posting a picture when I'm on vacation. So give us a follow. And of course, Ricky will probably be putting the stuff hopefully on the main BOGP pod. Be Our Guest Pod account. So follow that too.
Yeah. Be Our Guest Pod. That's the one.
Perfect. Yep. All right. No live show this Sunday night because obviously we will be busy, but we'll be back right after that for another live show. All right, we're going to be back again Thursday, Friday. We don't miss any podcasts. We're recording early this week, so we don't have any holes in the podcast schedule. So until we talk to you again, for Ricky and Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Time to get back to work, and we'll see you real soon. Good one. Okay, let me save that.
I think I might last minute put in a shirt order request from Elizabeth. A Stay Classy San Diego shirt.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah. I'm sure they get that a lot, actually.
I'm sure. Yeah. I just came up with that one. I'm original.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so breaking news. Actually, literally. Apparently Disney has canceled the Disney Springs Brightline train station. So it's not happening.
I thought you were going to say canceled the Disney Wish sailing like on Wednesday. I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. Don't tell me anything like that. I was like, don't do that while I'm live on the air. Do not tell me anything.
I'm actually, I am surprised that one is so far still going. I mean, hopefully, they have the christening that day, so
it's gonna be live too. I'm excited to watch that. I should clear up my calendar at 11 o'clock. So
I know, me too.
I watched the christening of the Fantasy live with my class. I remember I put it on the smart board. I was like, principal walks in. How am I going to justify this? But I was like, how often do you get to see like a cruise ship get christened? Like, it was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was right before lunch. I mean, because it was like, who cares? We're gonna watch this. I was like, if I get in trouble, I get in trouble. We're watching.
So what do you want me to do, Mike? Like bring up like my reservations and just kind of talk about like where we're gonna be eating and things like that.
So I'm gonna pull up the Disneyland app and see what we got here.
Can you even see the reservations? Probably not, but
yeah, you can on the app. Oh, I can't see the dinner.
You can't see what I booked. Yeah.
No, just like the theme park reservations. So future plans.
I think we're different on a few days, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Dun, dun, dun. Dude, I can't wait. Ah! Okay, here we go.
I don't know, Ricky. Do you think Mike's excited about going to Disneyland?
Damn, I can't wait. Ooh, I shouldn't have said that.
No, I
can't wait. It's so hard to work this week. I can't focus.
No, I don't think Mike's
I've been waiting like 3 weeks to get my hair cut.
I think.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm going tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm so ready.
How long my hair is.
I'm gonna do a little beard trim too.
Yeah.
Because I gotta look good for Disneyland. Like I've been waiting because I don't want my hair to be like long when I'm out there. Like if I feel like I gotta have it just right.
If I could just quick lose like 60 pounds, then I'll be like money.
I told Pam
I have like a
full hair color.
Maybe I'll save this for the podcast, but there's like a traditional photo I always take at Disneyland, and like once again, I'm not going to be looking as good as I wanted to, but eventually I will again. I'll talk about that photo.
Tell me about that because I have any frame of reference. What are you doing there? You sneezing, coughing? I was like, is Ricky okay? Ricky's dying here. We good? You back? You're muted, I think.
Guess who's back?
Yeah, I'm muted. Sorry.
Ricky's back.
Back again. Okay. So
Ricky's back.
We're all about the M&M in the state of Michigan.
Exactly. Yeah, you are.
That's it. You're most famous citizen. Okay.
No, I'm the most famous citizen. What are you talking about?
I meant that's besides you. I know.
Yeah.
I saw you had a street sign already named after you. I was like,
yeah, exactly. That's Gardner.
That was awesome. Okay, 21-13. We are rocking through these. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2113 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you and welcome to the 4th of July holiday weekend here in the United States. Hopefully you get a nice extended weekend from your work and get a day off and get to rest and relax. And again, remember, we want you to come back on Monday and subsequent days after that with all digits intact. So if you're playing with the fireworks this weekend, again, I'm from Missouri, right in the dead center of the country. We are experts at this. We have many accidents. Where I live in St. Charles County, Missouri, there is a fireworks stand on every single corner. Some corners, all 4 corners, have different fireworks stands. They're everywhere. If there's a spark where I live, my house will no longer exist because it's that crazy. Be careful with the fireworks, but have fun as you celebrate our independence here in the United States this weekend. So joining me today to have some fun, we're talking Disneyland because guess what? Scott's already on his way out there and I'm headed to California tomorrow. Ricky's joining us today for the fun Disneyland talk because she's been there before. Ricky's from themouseforless.com. Happy Friday, Ricky. What's up?
I've been there before and I've been there recently. I mean, within the last 45 days. So yeah. So I'm here to help guide you. I mean, Scott's already been out there before, but Mike, I'm here to guide you and help you along your journey and tell you things that you definitely should make sure you do not miss. So, but I can't believe that it's 4th of July weekend, by the way.
Yeah, I can't believe it's crazy.
It came up on me fast, that's for sure. So my family's actually going to be here in town. So that's going to be exciting. And we are going to see the Cardinals play the Braves here in Atlanta. So, of course, we are going to be on the Cardinals side of things. I will be wearing my Cardinal red and we'll be sitting on the third base side and we'll be cheering on the Cardinals. So sorry, Braves fans, not cheering on the Braves for this, but I got to see, Yachty and Pujols and maybe Wainwright.
I got bad knees for Yachty's in Puerto Rico. He's not going to be there. Yeah, he's got a bad knee.
Well, that bums me out. All right. Well, I missed that part, but I got to see Pujols for the last time then. Yes. So so I was right when I saw Yachty last year that it was the last time I was going to see him. I was right there. There we go.
I mean, look at St. Louis. He's what he's doing. They say he's rehabbing his knee in Puerto Rico, which he's from Puerto Rico and he owns a basketball team down there. So I'm sure he's just kicking back in Puerto Rico, resting me because he's going to do, he's going to play in August.
He's going to play August through. Yeah. I mean, I would rather him do that. So yeah, that shows you how much I've been paying attention to baseball at the moment. But it's I guess I'll just say bye to Pujols. Yeah, and because Wainwright apparently isn't retiring.
Oh God, I hope not. Yeah, he's my favorite Cardinal of all time. But
I know
Uncle Charlie. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like, if I caught as many games in my life as
gosh.
God help him. Let him sit on the beach in Puerto Rico for a couple of weeks and, get ready for the stretch run. I'm telling you, man, I have a hard time just getting out of this chair at this point.
Hey, here's the deal. If we wanted to just keep him on the roster for another few years and just let him play, August through or July through the end of the season, I'm fine with that. Let's just do that. I think that's fair. Just go that route.
He'll be a manager sometime, so we'll just have
to definitely.
Definitely. All right. Also, we always end up talking baseball. We're from St. Louis.
I know.
We didn't talk about Freddie Freeman crying. It was just
no. I'm crying because I can't see Yachty now. I didn't know this. Now I'm crying.
People from Atlanta, they got to cry all the time. Unfortunate circumstances. All right. Also joining us from up in the mitten, we're going to be together this weekend and for the next week. I'm so excited. Hashtag Scotty G, who is in San Diego. What's up, Scott?
Happy Friday from San Diego, California. So we talked about this on Wednesday that I do not like the Cardinals, but you talked about all-time favorite Cardinals. I would have to go with Lou Brock as my all-time favorite Cardinal.
Number 20.
Yep. And there's an epic play in the 1968 World Series, which the Tigers won that World Series against the St. Louis Cardinals, where LK Line threw Lou Brock out at the plate, I think, or maybe it wasn't Lou Brock. I know there was, now that's a horrible story, but there was like this bang play at the plate where our catcher, freehand, just stood on the plate. Basically, he wasn't going to move a square inch. I'll have to show you the photo. It's one of the most epic baseball images of all time. And but I like Lou Brock, man. He was speedy. He could hit. Like, that guy was a great ball player.
Yes, I agree. And he was a great citizen of him and Bob Gibson both really gave back.
I love Bob Gibson too.
Oh my gosh. I mean, just
Bob Gibson losing pitcher of Game 7 of the 68 World Series. I mean, I gotta love him too.
And you couldn't blame the guy. I mean, the guy carried the team. I mean, 1.12
ERA. 330 innings or something that year. It was like insane.
I made him make the mounds shorter because he was so good. I mean, he changed the game. Yeah. So but they were great citizens. We both lost them, within a few months of each other, and it really kind of was a huge loss to our community. So we miss them. But hey, let's talk Disney, and let's talk Disneyland this time because we're heading out there. So I thought we'd go kind of talk about what we have planned and really kind of, because I mean, this is it. We're going to go. And this is, we're on planes, we're getting out there. So Scott, okay, so we've kind of said you're flying into San Diego today, Friday, as we release this show. So what are your plans when you get to San Diego? Because you're like 24 hours ahead of me.
Yeah. So like the story of me booking this trip was like, my boy's going out to California without me. Like, no, say it ain't so. I mean, I originally wasn't going to come out there, but I guess it's still down. I mean, yeah, I'm in Michigan. I'm still going down and out. But you were pushing me over springtime surprise, kind of like, man, you should just come out. You should just come out. And then like, I come back from spring break, springtime surprise. I'm like, yeah, can you put me down for the Disneyland Hotel as well? Here are my dates. So we love going out to California. I like to do a little exploring too. So that's why we're going to San Diego. We spent some time there and like a few years ago and really liked it. So yeah, going to do a couple days there, check out the zoo. I think I'm going to do a tour of Petco Park, one of the most epic baseball stadiums, a newer stadium, but I think it's like really cool. So looking forward to checking that out. Eat a bunch of Mexican food, go to the beach, just relax, Mike. It's going to be a nice way to kick off the vacation for me.
So you're flying out early in the morning. It's like what like you're flying out early. What time do you arrive? Like how long?
Oh my gosh. So originally I was going to work all day Friday, today, and leave at like 10 o'clock at night, Michigan, and then like get there so late, not going to check into the hotel until like 3 o'clock, like my body clock, like it was just going to be super late. Almost felt like a waste of like a hotel stay too, like, because like, dang, we're going to waste all of Friday and then all we're going to have is Saturday and we're going to be tired and then we're driving up to Disneyland. So amazingly, I was able to do a flight change because, the first flight out originally was like $300 more per person, something crazy like that. That's kind of why I had the later flight. Found a good price change. So now we're going to spend all day there. So now we get a full extra day. So we'll be able to take our time at the zoo or go to the beach. So yeah, we're flying out at like, I don't know, 8 o'clock in Michigan, like, and land at like 10:30. Isn't that like the weirdest thing? Like because of the time change.
We're flying out on Saturday at 11:15 in the morning. And we get there at 3:10 in the afternoon, but we have a layover in Colorado for like an hour and a half. It's crazy.
It's so crazy
because I've never done this. I was going to ask Ricky, I'll talk about the genesis of the trip for me that kind of got this all rolling for me. Like, why are we doing this and not going to World? But Ricky, I mean, what about that time change? Because you, like Scott, jump 3 time zones.
Yes.
You know, I'm jumping 2 because I'm in the central time zone. You're jumping from the Eastern to the Pacific. I mean, I mean, because I've never done this. Like, I'm kind of excited. I'm really dreading coming home because I need my sleep. Like, I don't like being screwed up.
Yeah, coming home is the more difficult thing, and really how I view it is I always view it as I just view it as a travel day. Although the last time I went to Disneyland, that was not just a travel day. That was actually a day I went to the parks, which ended up making my day a very, very long day because I had gotten up at 3:30 in the morning Eastern and then flew and then went into the parks and then, you know, it's 3 hours behind. So I didn't go to bed until midnight and I 11 or something along those lines on, you know, Pacific time. So I was up for like 21, 22 hours for that day, which was super fun. But you know, I downed a bunch of coffee, which I know you don't do, Mike. So, you know, all the Coke Zeros in the world. And, you know, you just go for it. I mean, you know, it's going to be kind of torture on your body, but your adrenaline is so hyped that you're just like, let's go. So, that's kind of how I've handled those days is like my adrenaline on the day there is so like amped up that I can handle it. And of course, then you sleep in a little bit the next day. I know you won't, but you know, you kind of do. But then you're on the West Coast, so you get up early. You end up getting up early because your body is so used to the time difference. So now coming back, you're right. That is definitely more difficult, and I definitely view that as a travel day. I don't do anything the day of. I literally book kind of a 10 a.m. to noon-ish flight because that's about
my flight's at 10:10 in the morning and we get in at 7 o'clock at night.
Mine's 10:10 at night.
And then I use that. I mean, that's just a travel day. Like I kind of then as soon as I get home, I go to bed because I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like that's that. So I always view the last day of, you know, my trip for that as just I'm just traveling today and then I'm headed straight to bed. So I can hopefully get my clock back on the normal time as quickly as possible.
Good tips. So the genesis of this trip for me was a couple of things. You know, obviously with all the changes at Walt Disney World, the girls don't have annual passes for the first time in probably at least a decade. I mean, we've always had, I mean, it's been forever. You're right. I mean, we've always had annual passes as a family, but and it's not just because like of, you know, like the unavailability of annual passes. It just hasn't really made sense because Mallory with her cheerleading, getting more competitive and having way more times where she cannot get away now that she's in high school and on the high school cheer squad, you know, she just can't just hop down there anytime. So she can't go that often. And so if she can't go, Pam doesn't go. And so they just don't have annual passes right now. So no matter what, I was going to have to buy tickets for them, whether we went to World or Disneyland. And that's honestly what kept me from, there's two things that kept me from Disneyland forever. One was that we always had annual passes and I'm too cheap. Like if you already have passes for World, like why would I go to Disneyland when I can just get a room at Walt Disney World and the tickets are already paid for because tickets are so expensive either place. So I always just went to World. And the other thing was when I was scared to fly, which wasn't that long ago, I was not going to drive to California. Like that is a long, I did it once. We drove to Yosemite and we stopped in through Vegas for a couple nights and went to Yosemite and hiked Half Dome and came back. Oh man, that was the longest drive ever. It was awesome. Don't get me wrong. It was in college, but this old dude could not do that. So now that I can fly, I can just get in an airplane and go either west or east. So it's not such a big deal there. So I'm super excited. And Mallory also, she's always been asking me ever since she was 10. And I don't know if this is like, I don't know, Scott, if Emily was like this, but like Mallory watches TV and she always grew up on the Disney Channel. And you always see like all the stuff like Hollywood. And she you know, we're going to take a day and maybe do like we're going to a Dodgers game. We'll talk about that in a second, but we're going to go see the Hollywood sign. She wants to see Rodeo Drive. You know, and everybody's giving me the warnings about going and seeing like Hollywood Boulevard with all the bums and stuff, but you know, be careful. I've heard all that from like 1,000 people. So I do know that, but, you know, we're going to see what we can do, but you know, maybe like to appease her, like do like a TMZ like tour where you go see like the Hollywood stars houses. I don't know. because it's got to be a give and take. It can't be all Disney all the time on this trip. I don't know how do you guys feel about that? Because I mean, this is our first time ever in California. I've never seen the Pacific Ocean, so
no, that's why I like that. Like our first trip was the year that we went to San Diego first, because we're like, man, this is the first time I've ever flown out to California. Like, California is a huge state, let alone just Southern California is huge. Like, why would I just isolate myself to Disneyland? So that's why we did San Diego. It was Elizabeth's 30th birthday. So on the morning of her birthday, we went to the Pacific Ocean. It was cold that morning and I accidentally fell in. So did Emily, cause I just wanted to get in the ocean. It wasn't like we didn't have swimsuits on, but I fell in. So like just exploring California is awesome. And that's the beauty of Disneyland and having like a longish trip. Like you're going to be there for 7 nights at the Disneyland Hotel. Like you can only do a 5-day ticket, Yep. So why not spend a couple days, exploring, even like on a day where you have a ticket, like just maybe like do something fun in the morning that's outside of Disneyland and just come back later in the late afternoon, go swimming and go late afternoon. You don't have to be in the parks 100% of the time. I know you're going to be tempted because like, I just know you, Mike, like you're saying you got all this great, listen, I just know you got all these great plans. And then once you get in there, you're gonna be like, oh man, I gotta go. And like, I'm probably going to be the same way too, because it's just so exciting, but there is so much to explore. You had a listener on not that long ago named Mike from St. Louis. I think you might remember him. He did like he was out there with like some friends or whatever. And he talked about going to the Griffith Observatory, like, and he could see the Hollywood sign from there, like early in the morning. Like that kind of inspired me. Like I might want to do that one morning and do some exploring earlier in the day, just checking out other areas in the area.
Yeah, that's what I think the plan is, to get like our picture from there is what I'm going to try to do. I mean, that's kind of the plan. I don't have anything set in stone with that, but that is what I've told Pam that's what I want to do. Now, whether we get to do that, I don't know. But I did rent a car this time because it was cheaper. I found out then I started looking at ground transfers from because I'm flying to Long Beach. So I looked at the ground transfers from Long Beach to Disneyland. They were super expensive. It was cheaper to get a car than to get ground transfers both ways. So so
tell me about that Saturday. Tell me about the day you're flying in. So you said you got the layover in Denver. You're gonna fly out to Long Beach, get the car. Then what's your plan?
Yeah, so I mean, we take off at like 11:15 or something from I think it's 11:25 from Lambert Airport here in St. Louis. Land in Denver, I think at like 1:50, and then get into Long Beach at I think 3:10. Got a rental car, and then just going to drive up to Disneyland. Obviously, we're not going to a theme park that day because we have 5-day tickets. So that's travel day. And that's what I was going to ask Ricky. We don't have any plans this day. We're just going to check into the hotel. I'm thinking maybe swim, maybe I'm thinking dinner somewhere at downtown Disney. Yeah, that's kind of the plan. We could do quick service. We're totally fine with that. Maybe take a dip, ride on the monorail slide at the. I still can't believe I'm getting to do all this. Like when I say it, I'm smiling because I still can't, like, I'm a Disney fan. Like, I can't believe this is happening. To get to swim at the Disneyland Hotel. Like, that is unreal to me. But Ricky, what suggestions would you have for God, it's going to kill me I get to go the next day. Like the next day I get to go to Disneyland, but I'm going to be so dang close that first night. But like, be like putting my nose up to the gates.
And you almost can.
Yeah. And if there's fireworks that night, you might be able to see them.
True.
You're right. I didn't even think about that. I'm like, oh my God, let me in. But I know it's going to happen on the next day, the 3rd.
It's true. I mean,
I arrive, dinner time, 4, 5 o'clock,
Yeah. And you could always, depending on, what, Mallory wants to do, but you and Pam could always go over to Trader Sam's too, which is there. And it's the original at the Disneyland Hotel. So that's always an option as well. But, I think the best way to, like you said, to introduce yourself to the Disneyland Resort overall is to kind of wander downtown Disney. I think that there are some great dining options there, really fantastic choices. And I mean, a lot of names of things that you recognize because, they have counterparts in Walt Disney World. But, there's, other things too, that are totally different. So, I think that's, and you can go shopping ahead of time. I mean, I know your girls are, gonna want to go shopping. So, that's an option as well. They have a good sized World of Disney store there too. And, some other options, as well. So I would definitely kind of like get your bearings and explore, like just walk around and explore, because that's really going to be so key since you've never been there before. I think getting your bearings and figuring out where things are is going to be so huge. So that's what I would do. I'd explore both the Disneyland Hotel as well as downtown Disney, and mosey your way over to the gates where you can actually see,
and that's exactly
Disneyland.
Like, I want to walk around because I will have been sitting in a plane all day or like sitting. It's like, and I hate like sitting.
Also true. Yes,
I'm 6'3". I hate sitting in those plane seats. Just they're uncomfortable. I guess they're probably uncomfortable for everybody. But
maybe we should get the fancy seats and not the plain seats.
Well, yeah, exactly. What didn't? Go ahead, hang on.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Where is it? Oh, I can't find it. There it is. There it is. Sorry, slow. Anyway, so yeah, but I just want to walk around, check everything out, get it. I was thinking maybe I thought about Trader Sam's. I just don't think we'll get in there. It's a Saturday night, right? And we're gonna get there.
So I do have a comment on that once we start going through the agenda a little bit too.
Okay, so I was thinking maybe Tangaroa Terrace. Is that an option?
Yeah, that's a great condo service. Yeah,
something new. Okay, so that's kind of the plan. Okay, so Scott, so the 3rd is the day I get to go into Disneyland. Now, this day, you're not going to be there yet on the 3rd, are you?
Yeah, so that's the day I'm driving up. So there was my plan. Like I want to hang out with my boy and his family. I mean, they're from my family too, like we're all one. Yeah. But like, I really wanted the 3 of you to be there together on your own. Like, it's going to be your first like taste of Disneyland. Like, I don't need to be like pulling a Lonnie and be in the background photobombing you all day. I mean, it would be fun, but these are going to be like your first memories of Disneyland. So I kind of wanted you 3 to kind of be there together, so that's the day we're driving up.
Oh, that's so sweet, Scott. I love that.
That's such a nice guy.
That's so nice.
Yeah, so we're driving up that day. Because like, it's going to kill me. Like, wait, you're at Disneyland and I'm not. But like, so we're going to drive up that day. I think we're going to like take a little slow, maybe leave early, but like go up the PCH, like the Pacific Coast Highway, maybe stop at a beach along the way, get an in and out or something. But I will say, I know you're going to talk about your day. I do have 2 Trader Sam's reservations that made, but you can't book more than 3, or like you can't book a group of 6. So I was going to say, if you wanted a midday break, I do have like a 3 o'clock Trader Sam's for 3 people, and then I have one later that night for 3 people that me and Elizabeth and Emily were going to do. But if Trader Sam's is on your radar, you could do it that day, but you might not want to take a break. You might want to just go hard all day and never leave the park. I don't know what your plan is.
I need a break, even though it's Disneyland on my first day. I'll take you up on that, so we'll talk. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, and I appreciate that because I will be in there. I will be just going. My problem is like I want to, but I won't need to, right? I will want to go see everything like within the first 10 seconds of being in the park. Like, oh my gosh, I got to go to Fantasyland. Oh my gosh, I got to go into the castle. Oh my gosh, I got to go.
I got to do the train. The first thing goes see is the train.
Right.
But also like, I just want to go in there and just stand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to go on Main Street and just be like, look around and appreciate it. Like I'm here. I was wondering about that because Mallory and Pam, they're gonna love it. They're gonna have don't get me wrong, they love this stuff too, but they don't love it they love it for a different reason than I do. I love it that Walt walked down this street. This Walt was actually here. I've never been to a place other than Marceline that Walt was here when he was a little boy, so it wasn't the same. Like, I just want to linger, like on Main Street. Like, I want to go in every nook and cranny, and they probably
honestly,
won't
Mike, sorry, I interrupted. And honestly, Mike, that's the best part of Disneyland. I know Ricky will say that too. So, I mean, you got all the attractions, and a lot of them you've done in Florida that are similar, but yet a little different in California. But the beauty of Disneyland to me, and like, I don't want to spoil this too much for you, but Ricky knows what I'm talking about. Like, there's benches like everywhere. Like I swear there's like 5 times more benches like on Main Street.
Especially after now.
Yeah. Like Main Street just rolls up all the way with like benches. Like, yeah, maybe it's changed. I don't know since COVID or not, but like there's so many places to just sit and relax and just take in the atmosphere. And like, that's one of my favorite things about Disneyland, which is kind of what you're saying right there. You just like, my God, did Walt sit on this bench, or did Walt talk to the agriculture team on where to plant this tree right here? Like who knows? Like it's so awesome, Yeah,
definitely. And like Scott says, it will feel so familiar and yet so different. I mean, you're walking down, like especially Main Street. You walk down and you're like, wait, this should be here. I feel like that, there's so many more like restaurants and stuff like that on Main Street that they're definitely not, you know, at Walt Disney World. And so even just walking in, you're just going to be like, this feels so surreal. It's so familiar and so different all at once.
We had Rogers call into our live call-in show with Scott and I did Sunday night. He was from Arkansas, and it was ironic because he had just gotten back from Disneyland that day. He called in on Sunday night, and he had gotten back on Sunday morning from Disneyland, first trip there. And he was talking about how, you know, he loved being there, but he's like, it feels just a little bit smaller. He's like, it just feels, he said, he was 6'4", he said he almost felt like walking down Main Street. It kind of had to duck his head in some of the audience. You know, he's like, it was just,
I get that.
It wasn't as grand, but it was
Ricky and I don't have that problem.
I don't have that problem. No, not at all. You might. You're right. It is much more quaint. That's kind of the word I love.
I love because and I was worried about this until I went to Silver Dollar City last year we went there for our 50th anniversary. I know a lot of people go to Hawaii. We went to Branson, but we had the best time, and I just fell in love with how quaint that park was. Like I loved it was so green. It was hilly. It was just homey, you know. And I know Disneyland won't be to that level. But one of the things, like when I went to Silver Dollar, Matt Parrish from the 3028, like we've had conversations offline, but obviously he's from there. Like that's in his backyard. He's from down in the Ozarks. And he told me, he's like, Mike, you got to go to Silver Dollar City. He's like, you will fall in love with it. And he says, what Silver Dollar City it's Disneyland from back in like the 60s. He's like, because it's, you know, family owned park. It's very quaint. And so once I went there, I was like, okay, then I got to go to Disneyland. So yeah, I just can't wait. So I don't want, because I could just go on and on and on about this and imagine when I get back. I mean, I haven't even been yet. But Scott, so give some of the stuff we're going to do, because so our 60-day mark, and also let people know if they don't know, like when you make ADRs for Disneyland, it's not as easy as Walt Disney World. And this was all going on while I was down at the Cosmic Rewind media event. It couldn't have been a worse time. And there was also some other work I was doing at the same time besides the Cosmic Rewind thing. I was at Coronado. So talk to us about, like, you built the plans for all this trip.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating because, you know, we're both staying on site. We're both staying at the Disneyland Hotel, but that gives you zero advantage to making ADRs to a normal day guest, which is fine. Like everyone should have an opportunity, but I wish it was more like built like Walt Disney World. And here's what I'm saying. So say you have like a 7-day trip at Walt Disney World and you hit your 60-day mark, you can book up to, you know, on day 60 throughout the end of your trip, you know, whatever your confirmation is through. So you can kind of take advantage of like, hey, like I'm going to book a week ahead and get these ADRs first, because most likely no one else is booking them. So they're available. So you can make all your ADRs on that day 60. At Disneyland, it's day by day. It's day 60 and there's no going forward, even if you're staying there for like 7 more nights. So Mike, every morning at 9 o'clock Eastern, because like luckily like it wasn't like super early in the morning, you know, because right. Or else I would have been like, oh my God, this is brutal. I had to go on and like day by day, like, all right, I want to get Trader Sam's this day, so let's go for Trader Sam's. All right, sweet, I got it. And then the next day I had to do it all over again. Then the next day do it all over again. And it was tough because things went fast. Like the popular things went fast.
And that's something I think that has changed over the years, because, you know, even within the scope of our podcast, we used to say, don't even worry about making ADRs for Disneyland. You don't need them. And I think that, you know, obviously things have changed a lot. And I think that's one of the big things.
Yep.
I noticed that too when I was trying to make, you know, ADRs for Disneyland recently. I was like, wow, there is like nothing available. And I was not at the 60-day mark either. You know, I heard
there could be a lot of same day availability, like walk-ups. I think they hold back a lot. But yeah, like in 2019, we were going to go to Florida for the opening of Galaxy's Edge, like that Labor Day weekend. There was a hurricane coming.
Yep, that's crazy.
And so I was like, I made the curveball, like, well, let's just go to Disneyland instead. The weather looks better. So like, nope. Awesome. I did it like the day before or 2 days before, like decided to go switch our airfare to Anaheim. So I had no reservations made. And I got the Main Street Electrical Parade, like plaza dining. I did a World of Color, like party, like, and that was like 24 hours before it even happened. And now, like, you can't even get that stuff at 60 days. It's like crazy how much that's changed. But speaking of which, that plaza Main Street Electrical Parade, that was the number one on my list. I knew you wanted that so bad. Yes. And my daughter Emily was the one who got it. We're all like logged in on her device and Emily got it. So
Shout out.
So yeah, so that's shout out to Emily. So that's later in the trip. I think that's like on Thursday. I kind of talked to you about this earlier, and like I'm curious what Ricky thinks about this being there recently. So at Disneyland, you can begin park hopping at 1 o'clock. At World, it's 2. At 1, it's Disneyland. Mike has his park reservation for DCA that day, but our Plaza reservation is right at 1 on the nose. So I don't know, Mike, if you need to move your park reservation or you just be there ready to go at 1, and then like I'll hold the table a little bit, like, oh yeah, well he's hopping over right now. Like, I mean, I think that should work.
Yeah, exactly. What would you do, Ricky? I mean, I could look at. It's not hard to change if it's available. I mean, I can change it, but
well, I mean, it's at 1 and it's at the Plaza.
Yeah.
Right?
Mike's going to be at DCA, so it's an interesting situation. Like, I don't know, like
just be ready to walk in the door.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, it's not that far down the. I mean, it's right there on Main Street. I just walk. Yeah. I know, Mike, you like to be early, but like seriously, just
it's where like the Plaza is. It's the same location basically that at World. You know, it's like right there on the corner. Yeah. You know, so.
And it's shorter, so you don't have that far to go. So I say just walk in.
And I don't think it worked. I mean, we'll have our Disneyland one, so we can check us in. You know, because we'll already be in the park. You know.
You're going to be just fine, I promise.
Okay, so so let's talk about some of the cool stuff we're going to do. So you mentioned we're doing the Main Street Electrical Parade dining. So what's it called exactly? The dining package experience?
So it's just called the Plaza Inn dining package. So you go there for lunch and you eat some fried chicken and like you get a side. They might have a dessert. I remember the last time I did it, they had a Main Street Electrical Parade cupcake that you could buy. Of course, right? Of course.
Buying it, man. I'm gonna gain 50 pounds on this trip. Yeah. Go ahead.
But it's awesome though, like because we've done it before. And Ricky, I don't know if you guys all did this. Maybe you did, like on your last year. I know you saw the parade, but you know, you just had like how you see it at Walt Disney World with any of these like fast passes or whatever. You just kind of have a reserved sitting spot. I don't know if it's changed, Mike, but when I did in 2019, it was like near the front of the park.
Yes. Because Ben actually is doing the reserved thing with his family in a few weeks. Well, actually, yeah, it's like right after when
he's going right after me because he's not covering for my guest because I didn't want to give him that right before he was leaving.
That's
for
right.
Disneyland, so
which is probably good. But we were talking before, and we were at the spot where we were watching our version of because we had a reserved spot for the Main Street Electrical Parade. He actually asked a cast member, "Where is it for the Plaza?" And they did say it was down.
And it was awesome. Street. It's going to be like anything. Like you still want to get there early, even though you got the reserved spot. Like when we did it, like we got there, some of the first people in, we caught our piece of curb, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere because this is the Main Street Electrical Parade. I'm getting prime seating, you know. So we'll do that. And that's near the end of our trip. You know, we would have seen a lot already, you know. So like that'll be perfect. We'll just chill, relax.
And I love building up to the end of the trip with special things. Like that's one of my big things about Disney trips. Like put the good stuff at the end so it's not so hard. Like you have something to look forward to. You're not just like, oh my gosh, my trip's almost over. Like it's just getting better and better. It's building up. But I mean, just to me, I mean, I've been thinking about this, and I mean, it's going to happen here soon. The fact to see a nighttime parade in a Disney theme park, it has been so long since I've seen a nighttime parade. And I loved like Spectral Magic. I loved Main Street Electrical Parade. I'm going to lose my
stuff. We'll see it before then too. Like, I mean, it doesn't mean that we have to wait till that night. We're just going to guarantee that we have a nice spot. You know what I mean? But we'll see it in passing like on another night too, you know,
just to hear the music.
Yeah. But the 4th of July though. So 4th of July at Disneyland. Like, oh my gosh, like how can you get any better? And I was already looking, like they already have it on the schedule, like a special event at both parks. I didn't know they did a special World of Color for 4th of July, but they do. But nah, man. I mean, I love World of Color, but we're gonna be at Disneyland for the 4th of July. And I booked us about as American or 4th of July of a restaurant as I could think of. We're gonna be on Main Street, USA, eating at the Carnation Cafe, which is one of my favorite spots. Like it seems like the most perfect place to be having dinner at the almost at the Magic Kingdom. I just snorted too at Disneyland. Oh man. Carnation Cafe. Like I always think of that as like a Walt spot for some reason. I don't know. Like you can sit outside, you can see the people going by on Main Street USA. It's just going to be the perfect spot for dinner on 4th of July.
I got to throw in my big mistake that I made for us because I got all excited. So in baseball, the teams come out with a special hat they wear on certain days, like Military Salute Day, and like on the 4th of July, every Major League Baseball team wears like a special patriotic hat. You know, it's got kind of the same pattern, but it's got everybody's logo. So they came out with the one for this year, and it looks really good. I like the way it looks. So I immediately ordered it on MLB.com for the Cardinals. And I texted Scott. I'm like, Scott, you got to order the Tigers hat. And like, we're going to wear them on the 4th of July at Disneyland. I ordered mine already. And Scott's like, yeah, dude, it looks pretty cool. I'm going to order mine. He's like, dude, they don't even come in until July 12th.
Yeah. So I actually canceled mine.
You did, yeah. Well, we're going to, for Father's Day, I got tickets to the Cardinals game on the 16th. So I'll wear it to that game. I love
that.
That was
funny. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm bummed.
But so I didn't actually book that much dining for a couple reasons though, because I think we can do a lot of walk-ups. We can make audibles on the go. Like, hey, let's see if we can get available here. But like, honestly, and I know you love counter service, and I love the counter service at Disneyland. That's almost like better to me. So like, and it creates more flexibility. So I only tied us to a few ADRs, but like the idea of just like, I love the place by Big Thunder, like the Ranchero place. Like that's a great spot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like we're going to be stopping there for sure. And like getting beignets, in New Orleans, like there's so many great like counter service places that
make sure you get beignets. Make sure you do Bengal barbecue too.
Yeah,
because that's really
good.
Yeah,
that's a great. Yeah. Actually, I've never been there.
I actually haven't either, and Pam suggested
Steve,
it. So
Steve told me like, bro, you got to go to Bengal barbecue, and if
Steve
says
it's good,
and like Steve doesn't come out very often and like give you like some advice, like so when he goes out of your way to like tell you, bro, you got to go here, like I'm doing it. I'm like, I have no choice.
This is facts. When he chimes in, it's good.
Yeah. But so I did book a wine country too, which is at DCA. It's not my favorite place, but a lot of times if you go there early, like early lunch or first dinner, you can usually upgrade to a World of Color kind of dining package. So I thought we could try that to try to do a World of Color. They also had the virtual queue, Mike, which I'm curious about too. So if we hit the virtual queue early in the trip, maybe we just cancel that ADR and say like, you know what, we can go to Flo's V8 instead that night, which is an awesome spot to be too. But the biggest one,
real quick though, here's what's amazing me. It's 2 parks, like, and not even 3 on-site hotels, and I'm still like almost like having like overwhelmed with how many choices we have. You know what I'm saying? Like
so many choices. Yeah.
Like I thought, like you go there, it's all quaint and small, 2 parks, 3 hotels. I got all the offsite stuff, but I was like, oh, you're so limited. But I mean, like every time we talk about this, I'm like, my mind is blown by like we have so many options. Like we have 7 days, we still have so many options. My head's spinning.
We haven't talked about like Pacific Wharf. I think that's what it's called. I kind of see like it's like the food court of DCA where like you can go to the Mexican stand, you can go to the Italian stand.
Not wrong. It is totally the food court of DCA. 100%.
Yeah, because they have like picnic tables all out like in the middle. There's like an awesome like craft beer cart that like Moose and Georgia and I love to go to. So you just like everyone kind of can go their own way, and then you just come back to the table and like, hey Mike, do you mind? Can I have one of those tacos? And I'll give you I'll give you half of this like pasta dish. Like you kind of make it like your own buffet. But that's an awesome spot too. Like, my gosh, I'm just keep thinking like we love the food, right, Mike? We just love to go for the food. But speaking of the food, so we've been on the fence. We talked about this on the Sunday live show. So if you're listening, you heard it yesterday on the feed. We were talking about like everything's like turning out right for us on this trip. Like Pirates wasn't gonna be open, but guess what? It's opening July 1st now. Blue Bayou has just been a question mark this whole time. Is Blue Bayou gonna be open? Like, man, it's just a legendary place to go. Maybe not the greatest food, but it's just like the atmosphere is so awesome. Didn't think it was gonna happen, but a week ago, my boy, I think I golfed. Like I was in a golf outing. I came home. Turn on the TV. I get this text from Mike. He's like, dude, Blue Bayou reservations are available. Go. Now, my first thought was like, why can't Mike just book this? Like, he spent probably more time texting me.
I was on hold with Adventures by Disney, and I just saw it come across my Twitter while I was scrolling through Twitter. Yeah.
So I went for like the first day I could find. I'm like, all right, I'm going to book this. I booked like a lunch just to have something locked. And then I was like, wait a second. Like, this would be sweet to have like as our last meal of the trip, something like that, have that item to look forward to, we'll be hyped up. We can like share a great meal, talk about the memories we just made. And then I found a dinner on the last night. So my thought is we'll do Blue Bayou, maybe watch some Fantasmic and just kind of do our last favorite things that we did on the park to close out an awesome Disneyland vacation.
And the perfect thing is, here's where I think this is the genius ADR. So it's the one place I really wanted to eat was Blue Bayou. And you got it for like 4:00, which I think is a perfect, not just for the fact that I eat at 4:00 with all the old people back home. That doesn't even.
I was gonna say,
I do.
This couldn't have been even more perfect because 4:00 is legit the time that Mike Roman eats dinner.
You eat when and where the old people eat because they know where the food's good and they know where it's cheap. But I'm just saying. Okay, next. But here's the thing: by eating at 4:00, we're going to get to eat at this cool place, but then we're going to be able to just run around and do all these last minute things, which I think some of my best memories of my Walt Disney World vacations have been like that last night. We're just trying to eke out those last few things that you love to do. Like, I got to get one more time on this ride or one more, snack here. Like, and I mean, with all of us together for that one last like little rush of like 4 or 5 hours after having a great meal, I think that's going to be epic. I think that's a perfect, because I wouldn't want to do it like where it's the very last thing. Like, I want to have that time to go just be crazy for like 5 more hours.
No, for sure. And another reason behind this, I haven't told you this, is so I looked out for my boy. Actually, Emily looked out for you by getting that Main Street, package, that guaranteed seating. So Blue Bayou typically does like a Fantasmic dining package too. Like, it's not like promoted yet, so I don't know if they're going to do it, but my hopes are, because I'm looking out for my girl Pam. I know she loves Fantasmic.
Fantasmic is her favorite, yeah.
And we never even go to the Fantasmic when I've been with her at World, so I've never even seen her. I've never even watched Fantasmic with her. But my hope is like maybe we can get a upgrade to the Fantasmic dining package while we were there too, so we can do all that fun stuff. Pam can see Fantasmic, watch the show, and then we'll still have a couple more hours in the park where we can just go crazy, run around like little kids again. Like, this just, I mean, I'm so excited. I'm sure you can hear the excitement in my voice, but this is going to turn out to be one of the most epic final days of a vacation. I can feel it already. Hopefully we don't get disappointed by bad weather or something.
Yes, there's like some kind of typhoon will come in. Yeah, no, it won't happen. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. I did see though. It's recording as a heat advisory for Anaheim, but it's gonna chill out by the time we're there, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, that'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, we could go on forever. I mean, we're really out of time for this show, but it's one of those, the only thing that kind of churned up that I just saw the news today as we're recording is that the subs don't open until July 25th.
I know, we're just missing it.
Here's the thing though. It's kind of like a sigh of relief for me because I was a little iffy on if I was going to be a little claustrophobic getting in those suckers. Like, when I saw it, because the walls are down now and you can see all the lagoon looks beautiful. I saw some pictures today. So you get to see that, like, I'll be able to take pictures and see the lagoons, see the subs. And I won't have the pressure of having to get in there and like freak out because I can't breathe. I think I would have been fine, but I've heard those things are pretty tight. And I don't know. I think I could have done it.
I think you could have done it. They're a lot of fun. I was kind of bummed. I thought about that too, Mike, when I was talking about like how everything is like, we're opening this just for Mike coming, and then I saw the subs. I'm like, oh, we did miss one, but that's okay.
You know what? I did them. The first time I went to Disneyland, and I mean they're cool, especially if you never did
20,000 Leagues when I was a kid. That one day we went to the Magic Kingdom in 5th grade.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I did them too, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I mean, I think you'll be okay by missing it. Like, it is sad that you don't get to see it, but I mean, I think you're going to be okay. You get to see so many other cool things.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. Everything's turned up roses. Yeah, exactly. But Deanna in the live chat does say the subs are a claustrophobic nightmare, and she's only 5'3". So, there you go.
But Mike, can I ask you? So what is? I mean, I think you kind of already said it earlier about like just taking in the atmosphere. But what is it that you're looking forward to? Like, I mean, I know there's like 10,000 things you're looking forward to, but what's one thing that really like jumps out to you right now that might be like a little bit off the beaten path?
So for me, it's. Because, I mean, think about this. I've talked to so many people in almost 15 years of doing this podcast. And a lot of folks, of course, we focus on Walt Disney World, and we always will, but we'll always talk about Disneyland too. We talk about Cruise Line. We talk about these experiences, and, everybody has been like, oh, it's, this, it's that. And, it's always been secondhand experience for me. And I've listened to like every Wedway radio that Nate and Matt put out back in the day, 12 years ago, and they really focused on Disneyland on those shows and about the history of the park and how the park came to be. And, again, it was abstract. When they did shows on the history of Epcot, I could understand it because I've walked through Future World. I've walked through World Showcase. I've gone through the pavilions. My mind's eye was a lot better for those because I've been there. I've been there, but everything is abstract still at this point to me for Disneyland. I've read about it. I've, looked at videos, not too much because I didn't want to be too spoilery for this, even though it's, it's an old park. But for me, again, it's going to be that I get to have my personal connection to the firehouse. I get to have my personal walk down Main Street. I get to get on that train that really kind of kicked off this whole thing and made the connection back to Marceline, that train depot in my home state that got this whole thing rolling. So, it's not, it will be, of course, riding the Matterhorn and seeing how Pirates is different, how space is different, and all that good stuff that I'm going to get to have those experiences. But it's also going to be about, all these weird things, that only Disney fans can appreciate. Like, oh, is this where the House of the Future sat a long time ago? Like, is this where that pad was back in the day, and that they couldn't demolish the thing because it was built so well? It's those kind of things. And to be able to share it with you because you're a Disney geek just like me, the history, and we'll be able to kind of bounce things like that. I think that's going to be the joy of this trip for me. It's going to be like looking back, but also just taking in everything for the first time.
It's going to be awesome.
I can't wait. It's going to be fun. And it's here. Finally, it's here. So, we're going to jump out of here so we can get to Disneyland. So, Ricky, you going to be following along there at the hashtag? Got to follow.
Of course I will be. Hello. I mean, somebody has
Ricky might just show up. She might say,
exactly. I might. I mean,
she said Yachty's not coming, to Atlanta, so I'm just going to go to Disneyland.
Yeah. I mean, somebody's got to post to the BOGP Instagram account, so it's not going to be you. It's going to be me.
I don't know how to do it.
Just remember when you were there, me and Mike were in these same seats podcasting.
I know.
All your coverage.
I am so excited though to watch this. You experience this for the first time through, social media. So I'm dying to see your.
One last question I have for you, and I'll ask Ricky this, and Scott, because Scott, you've been too, Ricky, but. Do you think, and I mean, what are the chances? Okay, let's play a little odds makers for
odds makers. Okay.
Will I see some kind of like major celebrity in my 5 days in the theme parks? I mean, because you see it all the time, like on social media. Like, I mean, somebody I would know, and I don't know a lot of like, huge, like I don't know, like singers lately, unless it's like Garth Brooks or somebody.
Yeah, you ain't gonna see Garth Brooks. I haven't seen any celebrities while I've been there, but then again, I'm not really like.
Besides Scott, Scott.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't really like searching for them either, so I wasn't like going, "Oh my gosh, where's the celebrity?"
Yeah. And think about his family, Ricky. Like Mallory and Pam. That's all they're gonna do is like look for.
I know, right?
I know exactly.
If some celebrity, they will be slightly disappointed. Besides,
so I think you have a shot, but I don't know. Honestly,
10%.
I have not.
10% my number.
10%,
1 in 10 chance.
Okay. Have you seen anybody, Scott, on your trips? Because Ricky
he's actually like really famous in the Twitter community now, the Diz Twitter community. But I've seen Robin Lopez.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
The basketball player. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew who he was.
I don't think Mike's struggling there. Yeah.
I was like, I don't think Mike knows who that is. Yeah, you got his brother too. Was his brother there?
Yeah, I think they were. Like, it was actually Moose that noticed him.
That's
because
funny.
like we're walking in and Moose is like, look at those two tall dudes. Like they got to be someone. And then it hit Moose like who it was. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
But it's gonna be 4th of July weekend. You never know. The celebrities might be coming out.
That's true. They may come out. You are not wrong.
You might see Tom Cruise. You might see Maverick out there.
There you go. Exactly.
Talk to me, Goose. That's what I'll yell if we see him. I promise. Scott will get it on video. Talk to me, Goose. I'm sure he's never heard that. Anyway, all right, we gotta get out of here because we got to catch some planes. But thanks for hanging out with us. And again, here's the hashtag it's hashtag.
It's
not at. I'm too excited. It's hashtag BOGPATDL. BOGP@DL. Give us a follow that hashtag all week because we're going to be out there till next weekend and having a great time, especially on the 4th and moving forward.
There'll even be some non-DL stuff in there. Your Long Beach, your Dodgers. So we'll be using it for like all of California. Yeah.
Seats right behind home plate at the Dodgers game. Now we're in the nosebleeds. I'm up super high because they were super not expensive if you got way up high, which we did, but we'll have to get pictures though. The panorama with the mountains and the scoreboards and it's going to be awesome. We're playing the Colorado Rockies and it's bobblehead night. So I get to bring home a bobblehead and probably a Dodgers hat or something. I can't wait. If Kershaw pitches, that'd be better. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'd love to see Kershaw pitch. That'd be legendary. All right, so let's get out of here. Don't forget, brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check out all the great services they offer you for all your Disney trip planning needs over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. That really helps us out with everything we do here on the show. One extra click, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to the patrons of the show who allow us to put this show out 3 to 4 times a week all around the world. Couldn't do it without you. please join us over at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give Ricky a follow on the social media. She's at Ricky Nibs on Instagram and Twitter. Scott is at Epscott, EPSCOT, and I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. We're going to love to talk to you this weekend and moving forward. So give us all three a follow and we will follow back and talk to you. We love interacting with our listeners. All right, time to get out of here and head west. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. So come along with the journey. We'll have the shows next week. Don't worry. We won't miss any content. We're recording early this week for you. So for Ricky and Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Friday and an awesome weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Good stuff.
Dude, I'm like so psyched up now.
Dude, I can't stand it right now. I cannot stand it. Ah!
Oh, man.
This is going to be the longest week.
I'm so excited for you guys.
I was so busy today. And it was
we should look at the park passes, though, to try to align a little bit better, maybe. Well, I'll send you a text. Or
if they're available, you can change mine. I don't care.
I don't know if they'll be available, though. That's the only problem.
We'll figure it out. We both have the hoppers. I mean, that's the biggest thing. So we can do stuff at night.
Yeah, Disneyland is really difficult. I mean, at this stage in the game to change that I noticed. So
I don't know. It'll be all good.
Yeah.
All right. So. Well, I will catch you guys same time, same place tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. We talk tomorrow. We still might be a little excited for tomorrow's because we're actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, we were as excited. This was a show I've been wanting to do for a long time. I can't wait, man. I'm so pumped. All right, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Try to.
All right, see you guys.